Stop. Yes, you heard me. Stop. Working so hard. For the very thing you are chasing is running away, because you are declaring, with every ounce of sweat and strain, I do not believe it will come. But I say to you today, divine supply does not arrive by effort, it arrives by alignment. It arrives not by hard work, but by high consciousness. You do not earn your good. You accept it. You do not battle for peace. You declare it. You do not climb your way to abundance. You speak it into form, and it obeys. Too long have you bowed at the altar of effort. Too long have you worshipped at the feet of hustle and struggle, believing that if you just push hard enough, if you just work long enough, if you just do more, be more, prove more, then you'll be worthy. Then you'll succeed. Then you'll be safe. But the truth, eternal and unshakable, stands here today. You already are worthy. You already are chosen. You already are backed by the power that created worlds. So why toil? The lilies of the field do not labor or spin, and yet Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. The birds of the air do not hustle, and yet every need is met, every nest is built, every journey made. So I say, let go. Let go of effort. Let go of forcing. Let go of this belief that struggle is sacred. It is not. It is a lie. Instead, step into the flow of ease. Ease is not weakness. It is wisdom. Ease is not laziness. It is faith in action. Speak your word, and know that it is done. Say, every door opens for me. Every path is cleared. I am divinely guided and richly supplied. And then, rest. Rest not because you're tired, but because you trust. Rest because you know the real work is invisible. The real power is spiritual. The real victory is vibrational. You were never meant to work your way to greatness. You were meant to align with it. And when you do, when you do, you will find that the world bends to your belief, opportunities pour from the heavens, and everything you once fought for now flows to you, freely. Not because you worked harder, but because you finally remembered. You were never alone. You were always enough. And the universe is not your boss. It is your partner. Stop working so hard, and start winning like the divine being you already are. So let it be. Words are not just sounds that vanish into thin air, they are forces. They are seeds planted into the invisible soil of the universe, destined to return in form, in kind, and in season. Every word you speak carries power, either to build your world or to break it. The ignorant speak carelessly, not knowing they command armies with every sentence. The wise speak deliberately, knowing they are speaking their future into existence. There is no such thing as an idle word. Every complaint, every fearful sentence, every casual I can't, is a form of black magic cast over your own life. The tongue is a wand. Wield it wrongly, and you bind yourself to lack and delay. Wield it rightly, and you release all resistance and summon your highest good. When you say, I never have enough money, the law responds, so it is. When you say, I am always provided for, the law says again, so it is. The law does not judge. It simply obeys. People struggle because they work with their hands while their mouths undo the very work they've done. A man may toil for wealth and labor for promotion, but if he speaks words of worry, doubt, or failure, he plants weeds over the seeds of success. There is no prosperity for the one who speaks poverty. There is no healing for the one who proclaims illness. There is no love for the one who declares loneliness. Words are not small things. They are divine instructions. If you truly wish to stop working so hard, begin by speaking as though the work is already done. Speak as though your highest vision has already manifested. Declare, not with desperation, but with dominion. Everything I seek is already seeking me. All that is mine by divine right flows to me without effort or delay. These are not affirmations. They are declarations of truth. They pierce the fog of fear and dissolve the barriers built by years of struggle thinking. You are not required to beg, plead, or push your way through life. You are required only to align your speech with your spirit. When your words match the frequency of divine order, the universe rushes to meet you there. Speak health. Speak abundance. Speak peace, even when the storm rages. Especially when the storm rages. For it is not what you see that shapes your life. It is what you say. The world responds not to effort, but to vibration. And your words are the clearest vibration of your inner world. If you speak lack, even with your hands full, the emptiness will find its way in. But if you speak plenty, even with nothing in sight, the harvest must appear. Speak as though it is already so, and it must become so. Life listens to you. It obeys you. Not someday, not maybe, but always. So speak wisely, speak powerfully, and never forget. Your word is your wand. The moment you stop resisting life, life stops resisting you. The battle is never out there. It is within. And when you are no longer at war with the conditions around you, when you stop pushing, forcing, and striving, you allow the divine current to carry you exactly where you are meant to go. This is the great paradox of power. You win not by fighting, but by flowing. To resist is to create friction. To struggle is to set up an invisible wall between you and your good. The law is exact, unwavering, impartial. It does not respond to force, but to frequency. Whatever you resist, you magnetize. Whatever you accept, you neutralize. And whatever you flow with, you transform. Most people are trained to fight for everything. Fight for love, fight for money, fight for respect, fight for a place in the world. But fighting always affirms separation. It says, "This is not mine. I must prove I deserve it." The law of non-resistance whispers a higher truth. What is mine cannot be withheld. What belongs to me will flow with grace when I stop blocking it with fear. When you resist a situation, you give it power. You tie yourself to it with cords of energy and emotion. But when you release resistance and move in peace, you untie the knot. The people who seem to move through life with ease, those who always seem to be in the right place at the right time, they are not lucky. They are aligned. They do not chase, they allow. They do not argue with reality. They speak the word, then trust the law. Water does not resist the rock. It flows around it. And eventually, it shapes it. That is your power. When you stop trying to change everything through force and instead shift your inner state, the outer world begins to bend in your favor. You do not need to fight circumstances. You need only to rise above them. If someone insults you and you react with anger, you are resisting, and you are trapped. But if you remain unmoved, you are free. If a door closes and you panic, you are resisting, and blocking the next door from opening. But if you say, "This too is divine," you allow a better door to swing wide. Non-resistance is not passivity. It is power in its purest form. It is the refusal to give energy to what does not serve. It is the art of choosing peace over pressure, alignment over aggression. Everything you desire is already aligned with a higher version of you. But you cannot meet it through force. You meet it by becoming the version of yourself that no longer struggles. So flow like water. Flow past obstacles. Flow through disappointment. Flow around fear. And as you flow, you will rise. Because the universe does not reward the fighter, it rewards the one who knows their good is already theirs, and who no longer believes they must suffer to receive it. The only real labor you are ever called to perform is the labor of belief. Not belief in what you see with your physical eyes, but belief in the unseen, the spiritual blueprint that already contains your answered prayers. Faith is not a feeling. Faith is a force. It is the invisible engine behind every miracle, every breakthrough, every shift in your reality. All outer work is secondary. All effort without faith is wasted motion. You can take action all day long, you can plan and push and organize, but if your heart is filled with fear, your work is hollow. You are building on sand. It is not the action that brings the harvest. It is the consciousness behind it. A single act, taken in fearless faith, carries more power than 1,000 frantic efforts done in doubt. Faith magnetizes. Faith accelerates. Faith speaks the word and knows it is done, even when there is no sign, no proof, no reason to believe. Most people confuse motion with progress. They believe that if they are busy enough, tired enough, worn down enough, they must be doing something right. But true creation is not born from exhaustion. It is born from inner knowing. The mind may be full of strategies, but it is the heart aligned with faith that opens doors no man can shut. That is the only real work, the inner alignment that declares, "It is already mine." Faith is spiritual substance. It is the mold that shapes reality. It does not beg, it does not bargain, it does not waver. It declares. It commands. And it rests in divine assurance. To live in faith is to live from the end, to speak as though the manifestation is already complete. It is to walk in peace before the money arrives, to celebrate love before it appears, to give thanks for healing before the symptoms vanish. This is the challenge most will avoid, because faith feels like doing nothing. And the world has trained you to believe that doing nothing is dangerous. But faith is never nothing. It is everything. It is the inner fire that moves mountains without lifting a finger. It is the silent architect that reshapes your entire life while you sleep. The work of the Spirit is invisible, but it is the only work that truly transforms. Faith is not pretending. It is knowing. It is not repeating empty affirmations. It is feeling the truth of them in your bones. When you say, "All things are working for my good," you are not hoping, you are declaring divine law. When you say, "I walk in favor and receive without struggle," you are not wishing, you are commanding reality to rise and match your inner conviction. So if you must work, work on your belief. Work on silencing fear. Work on choosing trust over tension, peace over panic. When your inner world is secure, the outer world cannot help but reflect it. This is the great secret. Faith is not the reward, it is the cause. It is the key that unlocks all doors, the energy that does the heavy lifting, and the only true labor required to receive your good. Rest is not laziness. Rest is not retreat. Rest is not weakness. Rest is power in its most surrendered form. When you rest, truly rest, not just with your body, but with your mind and spirit, you declare to the entire universe, "I trust. I am not afraid. I know that all is well." This is no small thing. In a world addicted to noise, speed, and struggle, rest is a spiritual rebellion. It is the bold refusal to bow down to fear disguised as busyness. The world will tell you to hurry. The world will tell you to worry. It will demand that you chase, grasp, and strive. It will whisper, "If you stop, you'll fall behind. If you don't push harder, you won't make it." But what if the opposite is true? What if your greatest progress comes when you stop running? What if everything you seek is waiting in the silence you keep avoiding? Rest is alignment. Rest is a return to your true vibration. Peace. You are not here to prove your worth through exhaustion. You are not a machine. You are a divine being, supported by unseen forces that never sleep, never falter, never fail. When you rest, you step aside and allow those forces to work. You cease interference. You no longer block the flow with frantic energy. You open the gates and say, "I trust the process. I trust divine timing. I trust that what is mine cannot be lost." There is sacred strength in stillness. It is in stillness that intuition speaks. It is in stillness that divine ideas drop in. It is in stillness that healing rushes forward and provision flows. You do not have to wear yourself down to be worthy of blessings. You only have to receive. But to receive, you must pause. You must quiet the mind that says, "Do more," and listen to the soul that says, "Be still and know." Even the earth rests. The seasons rest. The tides pull back. The sun sets. But man, in his pride, forgets that he too is part of a rhythm greater than himself. He tries to live in constant harvest, without honoring the rest that makes growth possible. And so he burns out. He dries up. He forgets who he is. When you choose rest, you are not quitting the game, you are changing how you play it. You are moving from force to flow, from panic to peace, From scarcity to sufficiency. You are saying, I no longer buy into the lie that I must earn my good through suffering. You are saying, I trust the laws of the universe to operate without my constant supervision. This is not about doing nothing. It is about doing the one thing that matters. Allowing. Receiving. Trusting. It is knowing that while you rest, angels move. While you sleep, answers come. While you breathe deeply, life rearranges itself on your behalf. Rest is not the end of the work. It is the holy space where miracles begin.